Welcome to the Cenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
All right, let's jump right in, shall we? Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of cortisol. You know that hormone we always hear about when talking about stress?
Absolutely. It's often called the stress hormone, but it does so much more than that.
Yeah, that's what really caught my eye when I was looking over the stuff you sent me. It's involved in everything from how our bodies use energy to, controlling inflammation.
It really is a master regulator, you could say. It's produced in the adrenal glands, which sit right on top of your kidneys.
Huh, the adrenal glands. Okay, I always forget where those are exactly.
They're small but mighty, and they play a huge role in our overall health.
Right, because they make cortisol.
Exactly. And cortisol, in turn, affects a wide range of bodily functions. It's truly fascinating how it all works together.
Okay, so then how does it work? What happens when we get stressed out?
Well, imagine this. You're walking down a dark street, and suddenly you hear a loud noise. What happens?
Oh man, I'd probably jump a mile. My heart would be racing.
Exactly, that's your stress response kicking in. Your brain perceives a potential threat and sends signals to the hypothalamus.
The hypothalamus, that's like the command center in the brain, right?
Precisely. And it sets off a chain reaction, signaling the pituitary gland, which then tells the adrenal glands to release cortisol along with adrenaline.
Ah, so it's like a relay race.
Right.
With cortisol and adrenaline as the star runners.
I like that analogy. And those two hormones work together to prepare your body for action.
So that's why we get that surge of energy when we're stressed. It's like our body is getting ready to fight or flee.
Precisely. Your heart rate and blood pressure increase, your senses sharpen, and your muscles tense up, all thanks to cortisol and adrenaline.
Wow. Talk about a powerful response. But you mentioned earlier that cortisol does more than just fuel our stress response.
Oh, absolutely. It's also involved in regulating our metabolism.
Metabolism. So it's like our body's energy manager.
Exactly. It influences how we break down and use carbs, proteins, and fats.
Okay, that makes sense. But how does it actually do that?
Well, one way is through a process called gluconeogenesis.
Gluconeogenesis. Say that 3 times fast.
It's a mouthful, I know. But basically, it's how your liver creates glucose from non-carbohydrate sources, like protein, when you're stressed.
So it's like our body's backup generator, kicking in when our usual energy reserves are running low.
Exactly. It's pretty amazing how our bodies can adapt like that.
It really is. Okay, so we've talked about the stress response and metabolism. You also mentioned that cortisol helps control inflammation. That seems counterintuitive, since we usually think of inflammation as a bad thing.
It's true that chronic inflammation can be harmful, but acute inflammation is actually a vital part of healing.
Oh, so it's like our body's way of responding to an injury.
Exactly. When we get injured or sick, inflammation helps protect and repair the tissues.
But too much of anything can be a bad thing, right?
Precisely. And that's where cortisol comes in. It acts like a brake on the inflammatory response, making sure things don't get out of control.
So it's like our body's natural way of keeping things in balance.
Exactly. Cortisol is all about maintaining that delicate equilibrium. It's really quite remarkable how our bodies are designed to adapt and maintain a healthy state.
It really makes you appreciate the complexity of, well, everything going on inside of us.
Yeah.
But I'm also wondering, what happens when things get out of whack? What happens when our cortisol levels aren't where they should be?
That's a great question, and it's something we definitely need to explore further. Cortisol imbalances can have a significant impact on our health and well-being.
Okay, well then let's dive into that, shall we? Let's talk about what happens when our cortisol levels go haywire.
So you're curious about what happens when cortisol levels go off the rails. Well, let's start with what happens when cortisol levels are too high, a condition called hypercortisolism.
Hypercortisolism. Yeah, that sounds a little intense. What exactly causes that?
Well, chronic stress is a big one. When we're constantly bombarded with stressors, our bodies can get stuck in overdrive, pumping out cortisol like it's going out of style.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's like our internal alarm system is just stuck in the on position.
Exactly. And over time, that can lead to some not-so-fun consequences. You mentioned Cushing's syndrome in the stuff you sent over.
Right, Cushing's syndrome.
That's a classic example of hypercortisolism. It's often caused by a tumor in the pituitary gland, which then sends out faulty signals, leading to all that excess cortisol.
So it's like the control center is malfunctioning, sending out the wrong instructions.
Precisely. And the results can be, well, pretty serious. People with Cushing's syndrome often experience weight gain, especially around the midsection, high blood pressure, trouble sleeping.
Oh, wow. So it's not just feeling stressed, it's like actual physical changes.
Exactly. They may also have thinner skin, muscle weakness, and even a harder time fighting off infections.
Man, that's quite a list. I had no idea. And you mentioned it can even increase the risk of type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, that's right. High cortisol messes with insulin sensitivity, making it harder for the body to regulate blood sugar. And that, over time, can lead to those chronically high blood sugar levels, which then ups the risk of type 2 diabetes and other metabolic disorders.
So basically, chronic stress can really mess with our systems in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
But what about the opposite? What happens when cortisol is too low?
Yes. Low cortisol or hypocortisolism. It's not as common as high cortisol, but it can be just as problematic. One potential cause is Addison's disease.
Addison's disease. That rings a bell.
It's an autoimmune condition where essentially the body attacks the adrenal glands, making them struggle to produce enough cortisol.
So instead of an overactive alarm system, it's more like a weak one that can't quite do its job.
A great way to put it, and that can come with its own set of symptoms. Chronic fatigue, weakness, low blood pressure.
Oh, wow. So it's like the energy just gets zapped right out of you.
Exactly. And they might experience dizziness, especially when standing up, loss of appetite, and even unexplained weight loss.
That sounds pretty rough. Are there any, serious risks with low cortisol?
There are. A severe and sudden drop in cortisol can trigger something called an adrenal crisis. That's a life-threatening situation requiring immediate medical attention.
Yikes, that sounds scary. What are the signs of an adrenal crisis?
Things like severe weakness, confusion, dangerously low blood pressure, even loss of consciousness.
Okay, so this is serious stuff. It really highlights how important it is to have that cortisol sweet spot.
Right.
Right. But how do we do that? How do we keep our cortisol in check?
Right. Because we don't want to be swinging from too high to too low. The good news is we have a lot more control over our cortisol levels than we might think. Lifestyle choices, for example, can make a huge difference.
Okay, that's good to hear. So what are some of those lifestyle things we can do to manage cortisol naturally? I mean, I'm always up for trying natural approaches first.
Well, one of the most important and maybe one of the hardest is stress management.
Yeah, makes sense. We were talking about how chronic stress jacks up cortisol. So how do we actually manage stress better?
There are tons of options out there. You mentioned mindfulness meditation in the document you sent, and that's one that's been studied extensively.
Mindfulness, yeah. I've dabbled in that a bit.
It's been shown to have a real impact on reducing stress and lowering cortisol. It's all about training your mind to focus on the present moment, let go of worries and anxieties.
I like that. Being more present. Easier said than done sometimes, though.
Definitely. It takes practice. But the benefits go way beyond relaxation. Studies show that regular meditation can actually change the structure and function of the brain.
Whoa, really? So it's not just a temporary feeling. It's like rewiring your brain to handle stress better.
Exactly, making you more resilient.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Are there other techniques that can help us manage that stress and keep the cortisol happy?
Absolutely. Deep breathing exercises are another fantastic tool. When we get stressed, our breathing gets all shallow and rapid, which just fuels the stress response even more.
Right, like when you're about to give a presentation and you can feel your heart pounding in your chest.
Exactly. But when you consciously slow down your breath, you send a signal to your nervous system to chill out. And that can help lower your heart rate, blood pressure, and, you guessed it, cortisol levels.
Deep breaths. I feel like I've heard that a million times, but I'm terrible at remembering to do it when I actually need it.
We all are. It takes practice.
Yeah.
But it's such a simple thing that can make a huge difference.
I'm definitely going to try to be more mindful of my breathing, especially when I'm feeling stressed. But I imagine stress management is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
It is. There are other important lifestyle factors that can make a big difference in cortisol balance. Sleep, for example, is crucial.
Oh, sleep. I knew you were going to say that.
When we don't get enough sleep, our bodies produce more cortisol. It's like a vicious cycle.
Ugh, tell me about it. I'm definitely way more irritable and can't focus when I'm sleep deprived.
And the cravings. Sleep deprivation makes us crave those sugary snacks that throw our blood sugar and cortisol out of whack.
So true. Okay, prioritize sleep. Got it.
Yeah.
But I imagine what we eat also plays a role, right?
Absolutely. Diet has a huge impact on hormonal health, including cortisol. A balanced diet, rich in whole foods, can help stabilize blood sugar, which in turn helps regulate cortisol production.
That makes sense. I always feel so much better and calmer when I'm eating healthy whole foods.
Right. It's all connected. Processed foods, sugary drinks, too much caffeine, those can all contribute to blood sugar spikes and disrupt that cortisol balance. On the other hand, lots of fruits and veggies, lean protein, healthy fats, those can help keep blood sugar steady and support healthy cortisol production.
Okay, so ditch the junk and go for the good stuff. Got it.
Yeah.
But are there other things we can do? You mentioned some natural helpers in the information you sent.
Yes. This is where things get really interesting. Adaptogenic herbs and supplements have been getting a lot of attention for their ability to support the body's stress response and promote that cortisol balance we've been talking about.
Okay, adaptogens. I've heard that term, but I'm not really sure what it means.
Well, think of them as natural allies in the fight against stress.
So these adaptogens, they kind of help us handle stress better. Like, they make us more resilient.
That's a great way to think about it. They work by modulating the stress response, so our bodies can adapt to challenging situations and find that balance more easily.
So it's not that they eliminate stress completely, but they help us deal with it better.
Exactly. They help us roll with the punches.
Okay, so you mentioned some specific adaptogens before. Which ones are especially helpful for managing cortisol? Like the all-star team for stress management.
Well, one that's been studied a lot is ashwagandha. It's an herb that's been used in traditional Ayurvedic medicine for centuries to promote well-being and resilience.
Ashwagandha. Yeah, I've seen that one around. So what does it actually do?
Research suggests it can lower cortisol levels, reduce anxiety, and improve sleep quality. It's like a gentle nudge to the nervous system, helping it calm down and find that equilibrium.
Okay, so it's not like a sedative knocking you out. It's more about restoring balance.
Exactly. It works with the body's natural rhythms to support a healthy response to stress.
I like that, working with the body, not against it. What about other adaptogens? Any other favorites?
Another one worth exploring is rhodiola rosea. It's known for boosting mental clarity and energy levels, as well as reducing fatigue and just promoting a more positive mood.
So it kind of tackles stress from both sides, helps you cope and gives you a little boost.
You got it. It seems to work by supporting the production of neurotransmitters in the brain, those chemical messengers that control mood, focus, and energy.
It's amazing how much is going on in our brains that we don't even realize. Okay, so we've got ashwagandha, rhodiola rosea. Any others we should add to the list?
Definitely. Don't forget about magnesium. It's a mineral that's super important for managing stress.
Magnesium. Okay, I've heard of that one too.
Getting enough magnesium can help you relax, sleep better, and keep those cortisol levels in check.
Right, and we talked about how important sleep is for regulating cortisol, so it all ties together. Any other supplements we should consider?
B-complex vitamins are important too. They're really important for supporting those adrenal glands we talked about earlier and help your body handle stress better.
Okay, so ashwagandha, rhodiola, magnesium, B vitamins, that's quite a lineup. Any other all-stars?
One more I'd add is omega-3 fatty acids. They're great for reducing inflammation, which we know is linked to stress. And some research even suggests they can help regulate mood and reduce anxiety.
Omega-3s. Yeah, I know those are good for your heart, but I didn't realize they could help with stress too.
They're truly incredible nutrients with a wide range of benefits. They're like the multitaskers of the supplement world.
I like it. Okay, so this is all great information, but what if someone thinks their cortisol is already out of balance? Like, where do they go from here?
If you're experiencing symptoms that make you think your cortisol might be off, the best thing to do is talk to a healthcare professional.
So it's not really a do-it-yourself situation.
Not necessarily. While those lifestyle changes and natural supplements we talked about can be really helpful for getting things back on track, sometimes you might need extra support from a doctor.
Right, they can do tests and figure out what's really going on.
Exactly. And they can help you come up with a plan that's tailored to your specific needs.
Makes sense. Well, wow, we've covered so much today. Cortisol is such a powerful hormone that affects so many aspects of our health and well-being.
It really is. It's involved in everything from how we handle stress to how we sleep, how our bodies use energy, even our mood.
It's incredible and a little overwhelming to think about. But I think the big takeaway is that we're not just stuck with whatever cortisol levels we have. We can make changes to support our bodies and bring things back into balance.
Absolutely. Small changes can make a big difference. Prioritizing sleep, managing stress, eating a healthy diet, and maybe even exploring some of those adaptogens, all of these things can make a real difference.
I love that. It's empowering to know we have some control over this. And hey, if you're looking for high-quality adaptogens and other natural supplements to help you on your journey, be sure to check out Cenario. They have a great selection of products designed to support your well-being.
And don't forget, Cenario also has that personalized quiz on their website to help you find the perfect products for your needs.
Perfect. Well, there you have it, a deep dive into the fascinating world of cortisol. We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to take charge of your health and well-being. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.